A very good morning to you and welcome to Afama's Radio. And now today I am joined by my very good friend here as we get to introduce our topic of discussion this morning.
Thank you, Christine. It's actually Afama's TV. We are also in radio as we're speaking right now. It's a great step that we have made. And very good morning to all our viewers everywhere there you're watching. And today we have a very interesting topic, Christine. I think you can put us to speed.
Yes, we're going to speak about food systems. And this is just about insect farming and insect and nutrition value. I don't know if edible insects. I don't know if you like eating insects or you just find it a little bit disgusting or primitive. That's the right word to use. And remember, you can join in this conversation on our social media platforms, and that is on Facebook, at Afamas Media, on Twitter, at Afamas Media, and www.afamas.com. That is where you can reach us on our social media handles. And please get into this conversation as we get to discuss it a little bit deeper. Yes, and what is your thinking? Is it primitive to consume insects?
Yeah, people have been associating eating of insects to primitivity or to cultural beliefs or probably to poverty. And funny enough, do you know North America, Canada, parts of Canada, North America, and even the EU, like we were discussing this morning, much of their supplementary protein come from insect protein.
Exactly.
Insect flour, the insect burgers, the insect bread. We've discussed about so much about insects. So it's not an African or it's not a backward thing. Or that as more research are going on, we've realized that the protein percentage in some of the insects are quite high, and we are moving into alternative source of protein. Yeah.
And I'm just thinking about a burger patty that is made from insect flour. I wonder how that tastes. And also we've seen that we also have insect pasta. So you're eating spaghetti, but it's made from insect flour.
Yeah, and let me give you a fun fact.
Yes.
A fun fact. Do you know in every human's lifetime, they say in your lifetime you've unknowingly eaten 8 spiders. They say almost almost all human in your lifetime you've eaten 8 spiders, knowingly, unknowingly. So,
spiders.
Yes.
Spiders.
Yes.
The poisonous ones.
No,
the non-poisonous.
The non-poisonous. So that means in your lifetime you've eaten an insect without your knowledge. So you can't rule out you having the protein from the insect. Yeah. So actually, most of these developed nations are embracing supplementary diet based on the nutritional values of some of these insects. Yeah, like you've seen, there's a lot of demand for cricket farming.
Yes.
It started in North America, and right now it's in Africa. Like in Nigeria, people are doing a lot of cricket farming. Here in Kenya, actually, there was a documentary about this young guy, probably I think in coastal Kenya. There's somebody who's doing cricket farming. And he's making cricket biscuits, cricket crisps, cricket.
Wow.
Very good. I can imagine.
So it's just snacks. And I'm told that I was just reading in the morning when we were discussing, and I saw that they taste like roasted nuts.
Yes.
Ground nuts.
Roasted nuts, roasted meat, bit of it, it's the fleshy.
Exactly.
I wish Jackie was here. I tell her the story of one time I was coming from Uganda, and then somebody brought to the window in the bus I was traveling with something called isenene. Isenene actually roasted, very nice roasted. They're called these green grasshoppers.
Exactly, they're cut out the flaps.
Yes.
And then they roast
and then they fried in such a way they're golden. They're
yes.
Smelling very nice. Isenene actually, they're grasshoppers, the green grasshoppers.
I saw that on TikTok, and there's one side, if you want them green, they can still be sold green. But then if you want them deep fried, you can still get them.
Hey, they look nice. So You taste it like crisp, nice taste. But I don't know, the person who was handling that, maybe he wasn't very hygienic, because I became very, very story for another day, you know.
Yes.
I had to stop the bus. In the
And
middle
you're
of
all
the-
sweaty in the bus and all that.
that 1-2 tastes like, oh, this is nice. By the time I'm reaching Entebbe, I told the bus driver, who didn't even speak Swahili, told him, you know what, if you don't stop this bus, I'm going to...
But
I'll
again,
be the talk of the town.
maybe it was just cleaning your stomach, you know, because as we have seen from the nutrition value, probably it was just cleaning up your stomach and all
That
that.
cleaning, that aspect of people talking about cleaning is actually a body reacting. Your body, if your body senses that there are toxins or there are things that are in your stomach or in your bloodstream, it ejects them immediately. That's the cause of diarrhea. So you've eaten something and your body just realizes. It's like throwing up. You know, your body also works in a very unique and defensive way. It won't allow you to take in toxins. So that is why you find yourself throwing up, because your body cannot contain that waste. So that's why people say it's a way of washing your stomach. No, yeah, it's a way. I think I can say it's a way of washing, because your stomach, your body reacts to that.
Exactly.
And in that such a way, it actually expels everything that is in your stomach. Yeah.
Wow. And that is very, very interesting. But probably if we just as we continue discussing the edible insects for humans, and people have been asking if it is okay, because they just know of one insect, the kumbe kumbe. They eat during the rainy season.
I think millennials won't even understand. I was somewhere with my family probably last week, and then it was raining. And then we started seeing those flappy things. So my daughter started running. You know, I'm scared. All this child heading to this.
And you know, I was even taught a better way of just catching them. You just put a bucket or a basin full of water, and they're just getting.
Yeah,
they're just getting in, because they can't fly again.
It's some place I was having an argument with some of my friends. There's a place in Western Kenya, I think in Luanda, where actually it is a big business, booming business. In Luo, I hear they call it onyoso. There's this insect with a very big belly. The thorax is quite huge.
Yeah.
It has a lot of fat inside.
Yes.
It just pops out of the hole and it runs, it flies. So people run for it. So there's a place in Western, I think, Kumsalaba, where people actually, it's like, they become a choir, you know, they do. So they think it's raining when they hit the drums.
Yes.
So they pop out. So the moment they pop out, the people are picking it. So it's actually they have like music they sing there so that these things come out, and they play a lot of drums, and then they sell, like there are places in Luanda in Kenya. There are places there's actually an insect market where you can go buy some of these insects. Alternative, people say that's fat, very good fat, like the kumbe is actually the male termite, the winged termite, what we call the kumbe.
So those are termites.
Yes.
But that is the male one, the one we consume.
Yeah, the winged, called the winged termite. Yeah, it's just normal termites.
I'm getting nostalgic, and I'm just salivating, because I remember I used to just take the pan that my mom used to cook chapati and I put them there with
and then it goes so well with ugali, and you eat it. So I think the taste, the
I couldn't wait for the ugali.
Yeah. And just a quick fact about some of the insects, for example, like the cricket. Let me give you nutritional value of cricket alone.
Yes.
And that is why cricket is one of the most nutritious insects in the world right now. Cricket alone has 5% calories, which is very low in terms of your health, if you're checking on your health and your calories. It has 6 grams of protein.
Wow.
That is very high for somebody who wants to, build up in your protein. 2.5 fat, which is 2.5 fat, not really bad, and then 1 gram carbohydrate. So if you want to fatten your children,
You want them? You want
feed them on
pom-poms.
cricket diet.
Yes.
Yeah, cricket is it can be a good alternative, especially for animal feed, because we're looking at the protein percentage. The higher the protein percentage, the better for your, especially if you're somebody. Yeah. So yeah, like there's so many animal protein animal. There's so much interest in animal protein. I was just reading that insects are healthier than red meat.
Sure.
Yeah, and contain 3 times more beef or chicken. 3 times, meaning up to 60% protein.
60%, yes.
You know how that is fascinating, especially to a farmer, how somebody like me, for example, if I look at the protein every time I'm buying feeds, I look at protein percentage.
The protein value, yes. And also iron and the vitamin B12.
Iron. Yeah, it has iron, vitamins. It burns vitamin B.
And this is actually good for someone who has iron deficiency in their system, because instead of taking a lot of medicine, if you just look for insects near you.
Yeah, you just,
crickets.
Yeah, they're there. Trust me, I was reading some. There's a is it in Oceania? There's a tribe that eats flies, house flies, especially the blue ones. So the ones that go and land on waste, human waste. That's a delicacy. So people are weird.
Yes, and right now, actually, Robert, in Canada, we have packaged insect flour, and this is from this termites. So it's packaged in flour, so you can just buy it at your local stores.
Yeah, I mean, if you really want, like for example, what we are saying, like if it's like enriching flour, like having soya in your flour, or that you're having a percentage of. This is very good, especially for young children who are just growing up, like under 5-year-old. Give them probably in their uji. Yeah, that supplement. So it takes us back to whoever was saying that people are eating insects backward. I do not think that is very right. That is just a statement, like saying farmers are backward people.
I think that is someone who's not has no facts about insects, because they think it is primitive. We are still in the Neanderthal system. Yeah, we have not evolved. We've not. Evolution is still taking place in us. That's why we are consuming insects.
Yes. So there are very many markets here in Africa, specifically for insects. Like I told you, there's a place called in Luanda. Luanda. I used to study in Maseno University, so we used to go and hang around in Luanda there. So you'll see very weird insects being sold there. Especially the kumbe during the rainy season. Somebody will come with a bucket. You see wings, things just. You like it when they're still alive. Yeah, you take it and eat it. I just wonder why even fish, even seafood, you cook them when they're alive, like crabs, lobster, even octopus. Normally, the best when you're trying to get the best out of them is eating them when they're still, cooking them when they're still alive. Yeah, even for such insects, it's good you eat them or you cook them when they're still alive.
Now that part, I think that is our human part, where we like hunting.
Yeah, it is.
You went to catch it.
Yeah,
you went to catch it alive and just fry it.
I think basically also is some of them become toxic as soon as they die. They start decomposing very fast. So, but I'm here to find out. I'm here to do my researches. Why? The time I went somewhere and then they brought us a lobster. And then they took it and they cook it when you're seeing. Very big lobsters.
Wow. And crabs.
Yeah, and crabs. You eat them, you'll see them dying too while they're on fries. Yeah. Oh yes, like lobsters, crabs. Those are arthropods. Arthropods are actually part of insects. Part of what we are discussing now. In Naivasha we have crayfish. Crayfish actually almost like lobster. very nutritional, very, very nice. I'd encourage anybody who, especially if you're in Kenya, anytime you're in Naivasha, go and ask for crayfish.
Crayfish.
Yeah, crayfish are like lobsters. Yeah, very sweet. You see, just put them, get it the way it is. I wish I put some picture. I don't have the
Of
picture.
crayfish.
Yeah, we've gone to Naivasha. I actually used to do aquaponics with crayfish before. All that I realized, those crayfish started killing my fish.
Because of the ecosystem.
They're very
Chloe. They have claws.
they have claws, and they're very, what do you call that? Dominant. Oh, they're very territorial. They want their space. They don't want any other thing to come near their space. So what we'll do is just, if a fish comes near it, it just scratches you, and then the fish will eventually die because of the injuries it has.
It sustains because its skin is still
probably it's toxic.
fragile.
It has a toxic, and then once it chappers you like this, you will sing the national anthem of Ethiopia. Very painful.
Yes, and now it is just 13 minutes to 9 o'clock. And update on our roads. We have someone here, Omurush, who's told us that a young boy, 11 years old, has just had a terrible accident next to Imara Mall on Mombasa Road. And this actually, according to him, it's negligence.
Yeah, that is quite sad. Right now the children are out. They're actually
out and about.
How do you let your child? And the way that road is bad. It's just next to the expressway.
Yes.
So everybody is rushing to work. So how do you leave your child to just run around like that? It's quite quite sad. Quite bad.
This is quite sad, and please keep updating us on what is happening on your roads. More on that on our social media handles as well, as we continue to discuss about insects. And actually,
talking about Edmonds, I think everybody is removing his car today. Eh?
Yes,
it's Edmonds, so
we have to
should be expecting traffic.
And remember, we have to do that because we are heading to Christmas.
Oh yes,
and we have to travel with those cars.
And people have to make money, so you have to come to Nairobi and see how to make money for Christmas.
And remember, we also have to buy clothes. So we are rushing to town to buy clothes.
Yes.
Yes, and we have someone else here who's saying that at General Motors, and this is still in Mombasa Road, it is quite hectic around there. They have been standing there for almost 30 minutes, and the road is not opening. On Thika Road, it is looking smooth. There is no incidents on that side of Thika Road. Yeah, and this is quite interesting, knowing that everyone is going to work, and they have also applied for the Hustler Fund. We forgot to mention about that. My question is, do people actually look at the terms and conditions?
You know
that is something that binds most of the Kenyans.
You know what happens even with these mobile applications, mobile money, how do you call this? Let's apply for your cash. They have lots and lots
of mobile apps.
Mobile loans. Yeah. They have lots and lots of terms and conditions, big terms and conditions, and I'm telling you, if you don't go through them, some of those terms and conditions will actually need a lawyer to interpret for you, otherwise they can catch you in a very small way. So it's very important that, especially when you're about to sign a contract, nothing comes for free in this world. Or when the deal is too good, think twice. Like you are told, this Hustler Fund is going to help you. I think Fuliza limit grows the more you
transact.
Yeah, the more I don't know how true that is, but like the mobile loan apps where you borrow, you pay early, it goes up. They put you into a debt trap. By the way, it's just like Fuliza.
That is a debt trap. Eh?
That's a debt trap. And
that is why I think even when you're signing something, the terms and conditions are in very small letters because they know most people do not read them.
And what like my brother Noah said, only if it is deemed necessary, take a loan. Only when you are deem and you know that you will pay it back. Never, I will advise anybody, never take a loan that you do not know how you will pay it back, especially if you're a hustler or you want to try, or especially you want to try something new. Let me see if I can buy this and see if it will, and then you have 2 weeks to pay, or you get into a debt trap. So there are people who cannot even pick up their phones because they know they're being tracked maybe by their bank.
Actually, and have you ever, I don't know if you had that experience, Robert, I've had one, and someone calls you and tells you, Ambia fulani alipe loan. And so I'm like, where am I coming in?
Yeah, it's quite, but thank God that the central bank actually put a clause to stop these mobile applications from harassing your next of kin, so anybody in your contact list, because that is going even against even the Bill of Rights, your right to privacy, your right to your own space. So you're not like, right now I call your mother, I tell her, I call your best friend, I tell her, I tell Christine, we've seen her on TV, so we don't want to shame her.
Yes.
Asiringe kwa TV. So if you're that person who wants to go and take that hustler loan, unaanza na 500, 500 bob won't help you with anything.
I saw a friend of mine has just put a status and they're saying, nimechukua hustler fund na ngojea kifungo sasa.
Yeah, play around. But let me ask you, like Kenyans have that wait and see attitude,
yeah,
which is very dangerous. Chatuone what will happen. And when they start, I can imagine if they are really saying, if they are really truthful about arresting or prosecuting people who default, don't they think we need a new facility, new jail, just to hold?
Because the ones we have are almost full.
Committees will be full in no time.
Yeah.
Kenyans are major defaulters,
exactly.
Especially in loans. So itakuwa kuleta shida kwa Kenya. Don't pick. I mean, use it only when necessary. There's no need. Hata kama umefinywa mahali, unasema kuna pesa inakuja next week. Okay, if you're sure you're going to pay it, that's good. But make sure you save it for a rainy day. I'm sure it will help you one time.
Exactly. Or unless you also want, you see, maybe you want to invest it and you're very sure that you will pay, just as you're saying.
So what will you invest with 500, truly speaking? Maybe you want to buy bread on a peso, but okay, you'll get money. Yeah, that you can do it. Something very big.
But again, why borrow money? You will pay with interest to buy bread.
And then another thing, I was talking to a friend, that is a way of also government getting very free data on people's information, people's spending habits, government is going to harvest a lot of information on your financial details. For example, I don't know if they use an app or I think there's an app, or they'll be able to understand, to look at your habits, your spending habits, your money usage habits, get your information.
Actually, no, I don't think it is, but probably before we start that, because that will be another discussion now.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll just get a lot of data on how Kenyans use the money, how frequent Kenyans can be able to pay. It will reach a time when a first batch of defaulters default. They wait and see what the government will do. If the government will be overwhelmed, more people start defaulting.
More people.
More. So it'll reach a time now the government will now start saying, hey, is it true? I hope they've insured that fund.
Yes, and because that is what is mostly in our newspapers. Maybe we just focus on what is touching on us. And this is about GMO.
Oh yes, our talk on GMO. It's on today's paper.
It is on today's paper, and this is in page 14.
That's the Nation,
the Daily Nation.
Courtesy.
Yes, and actually saying that genetically modified foods are safe, and this is according to African scientists.
Okay, which scientists in particular?
Just to look at, we have Professor Mishieka and the Honorary Secretary Ratemo Mishieka. And he's from the Kenya National Academy of Sciences. And we also have the Network of African Sciences Academy Executive Director Jackie Kado, And those are the two who are saying that GMO are very safe.
Okay, they need to base it on what specific samples, or what are they talking about? You cannot just wake up and say all GMOs. Probably
let me just read a direct quote here, and he says that they wish to state that approved GMO products are safe, and scientific authorities around the world, such as the U.S. National Academy of Sciences and the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organizations, have analyzed thousands of scientific studies and concluded that GMO food crops do not pose any risk to people, animals, or the environment. And this is according to Professor Mishieka.
Oh, you know what they just said is foods that are already approved. Already? That means that there are bodies that have, like the one we were talking about, the Biosafety Authority of Kenya.
Yes.
Yeah, those are bodies that have been put in place to check are these GMO safe for human. Like in the US, under USDA, United States Department of Agriculture, there are also bodies that are tasked to look at the GMOs and how fit they are.
Yes.
These things are just not released to the public just like that. The safety concern was the ones that are brought from the high seas, the maize that was procured by the Kenyan government. What tests have they gone through? They bring out you see, like scientists, before you approve something, you have lab tests, you have lab results, you have analysis of samples, the failure rates, the success rates. Out of all that, they need to put it in public. The Biosafety Authority has to show us that this is how the analysis came from the samples taken, and this is for them to guarantee that it's safe. They have to approve it. And that is exactly what this board of scientists, or this group of scientists, are telling us. The ones that have been approved or pre-approved are safe. But also, we cannot just allow things dumped without pure extra safety or extra check by some of these organizations that have been tasked.
Actually, according to this organization, the products have been here since for 25 years now.
Yes.
So they were introduced 25 years ago.
Yes.
And Professor Mishieka actually adds that there has been no verified health problems that have been reported.
Of course. Remember in our show 2 days ago, I was telling people that you've been eating these things and you don't know. And they're just proving what I just said.
Yes, and actually more than 70 countries have adopted biotech crops, with more than 190 million hectares of biotech crops grown globally.
Do you know the only 2 countries in Africa that have accepted genetically modified organisms, the GMO? That's South Africa and now Kenya. But now Kenya we're still at limbo of what's going to happen. But presently, South Africa is the only country in Africa that has accepted GMO, and the GMOs are in their stores. People can eat GMO. But Kenya needs to do a research, send a few scientists a few researchers to South Africa, see if there's any conditions that we are worried about. Are we seeing people having wings in South Africa? Are we seeing a strain of people coming out? And these are people eating GMOs.
Yes.
How regulated is it? Sometimes we just make noise, but we don't have facts and details,
Yes, just Robert, hold that thought. We will be back, and you will tell us about the wings in South Africa and their horns. We'll be right back after the short break. We're just going to take a breather, sip our coffee, and then we will be back. Do not go anywhere.
Unatazama Farmers Media.
Sema ya mwisho.
Unatazama Farmers Media.
Ya mwisho mzee.
Unatazama.
Farmer from Kajiado West. I'm the chairperson of the Kajiado Beekeepers Cooperative Union and also the chairperson of Kajiado Beekeepers Cooperative. The union is for the county, and the Kajiado West sub-county cooperative is for the sub-county of Kajiado West. So I'm glad again I'm meeting you for this second time. The last time I was in your studio. Today we are here. We are discussing about apiculture and the role of apiculture in climate change. We know that the adverse effects of climate change, what it has caused. Actually, as we speak, the county of Kajiado has maybe felt a lot of impact that has been brought about by this drought. And the drought is all about brought about by the effects of climate change. So when we talk about apiculture, apiculture is all about beekeeping, the activities involved in the beekeeping industry, and all the stakeholders that are involved in that beekeeping industry, and that we've destroyed because these companies have caused a lot of destructions in our forest and also in those environments that maybe other plants used to inhibit. Yes.
Lastly, I just want you to do a drop for me. Say your name, you're the chair of which beekeeping union, and you're watching a farmers media.
Yes, this is
you'll say something in Kimasai to make it look nice.
Yes, this is Kisai Meitamei. I'm the chairperson of Kajiado West Beekeepers Cooperative and also the chairperson of Kajiado Cooperative Union. That is for the entire Kajiado. And I'm so glad and also assuring isidai ana kitesheni nikijo a farmers media magagira iteng'en iyiok enikinko taata tenikiponu aas esiai eramatare ang kingira adamu ajo kanyo kuna tokitin taata nayau ena nyamali nayau olameyu neeku ashe oleng. Yes.
Welcome back to Afamas TV. And we're just discussing about edible insects. And contrary to common Western belief, insect eating is not barbaric or primitive behavior. In fact, insects are actually a healthier alternative to red meat and can contain up to three times more protein than beef and chicken. And this is just some of the articles and some of the investigations that have been done and studies about edible insects. And I don't know if you were telling us about GMO, and as we continue with this discussion about insect farming.
Yeah, the three reasons why insects have become an alternative to our nutrition in the world right now. The three reasons, three major reasons. Yeah. Yes. Number one, with the rising cost of life, we've realized that animal protein or getting animal feed or getting animal products such as beef or fish product or chicken becoming more expensive with time, especially post COVID, where prices of meat actually soared across the world and chicken became expensive. So it's becoming an alternative. Yeah. Number two is actually it's a healthy alternative because we've looked at even calories. They are very insect protein or insect meal actually has low calories compared to things like animal protein or like from like meat has higher protein, higher fat, higher calories. And lastly, animal feed production. You see, it's very why we're embracing insect feed because of the high protein, which helps us make very good animal feed. So those are the three basis of why they're becoming a big thing in Africa. Just to give you a shocking a small fact, do you know in South Africa we have this this kind of worm called mapome worm that the insect industry or in this insect in trying to get this protein. Yeah, that is what I think about
that. Is one of the concerns actually. And considering also the prices, just as you have said, the prices of meat and chicken rising, and we also have the climate conditions. And
more importantly is the cost of feed becoming too expensive. Cost of processing and transporting and manufacture of these animal feeds becoming too expensive. Right now, you've even seen the prices of fuel prices gone up. So it actually increases the cost of production. So right now we are looking at an alternative. we have this black soldier fly, larvae and pupae, which is becoming quite a good alternative of feed. We also have larvae. I've written an article on larvae.
Wow.
Larvae farming. Inzi, you know, those larvae, the ones
Yes.
that we see in toilets and in waste.
The big ones.
Yes, those white crawling maggots. Yeah, let me call it maggots. Yes, maggot farming is also building momentum. Very easy. You just get your dirty, smelly
I'm sorry,
stuff.
but why would I go maggot farming? What are the benefits? Please
Maggots
just
have very high protein. Very, very high protein.
for what exactly?
It's an alternative to your feed, to your chicken feed.
Oh yeah, for chicken
Yeah.
probably.
So like there's a project we did somewhere in Bomet where we did an integrated system, yeah, where we have chicken, fish, it's an aquaponic with chicken and fish.
Yes.
And the waste we have, especially this high grade chicken, the more you feed, they release a lot of waste. Mingi sana.
Yes.
If you have like about 100 chicken, I'm telling you, it's a lot of waste that is being released. Yeah. So what we did is quite simple. From the waste, we just have a way where the waste falls. The chicken is on top, and then the waste falls
down,
and rolls into somewhere where we collect it. So where it's packed, we introduced worms, earthworms, and we've also introduced house flies. Just put
The larvae now.
how we got the flies to get into to come. We just put a bit of molasses and just some sweet scent. Flies will come. They will lay eggs. We'll have maggots. You'll have thousands and thousands of maggots. So we've constructed in such a way, once they lay eggs and the maggots start moving, the maggots fall into somewhere we can collect them. As they grow, they fall down, and then we just collect them. We give them to the animals, to the animals and to the fish.
So this means that even this edibles, they are good even for the chicken.
Yes, these are good. They're very, very good. These maggots that you're seeing are very good. They're very high. They have very high protein. And that's why we are even urging farmers to see alternatives to to the feed. You don't need to just sometimes think outside the box. See how you can be able to find an alternative. Find a bucket. Get a bucket or get something, a container. Put your waste there and try to attract houseflies. Also, if you can use cow dung or try to attract houseflies. Let them lay eggs there. And then start culturing maggots.
Wow.
From that maggot, you can fortify it with the feed that you're giving your animals. If you're chicken, you can have the chicken feed, and then you fortify that the maggots in there, and then they eat.
And actually, there's someone here who has just said that what you're saying is very true, because even for fish and pigs. And he's saying that according to a study that was done, this type of maggot-based animal feed has fetched $10 million in capital in South Africa.
South Africa, because I love South Africa because they embrace it. They embrace a lot of South Africa and Nigeria. They really love embracing our technology, especially in farming, and that's why they are doing so well. Even Ethiopia is coming up. Kenya, we have that wait and see attitude. Yeah? See,
the one that you said.
Yeah, problem in Kenya, they'll watch and then see, is it working? If it works, then everybody will rush to it. Remember, this bird called what?
Quail.
Yeah, the quail. Just because somebody
Maybe
went
I remember
online.
it in Kikuyu because there was a song that was sang Maya Yakwero. You know that guy?
So,
because I
was still in college by then, so we had in Kenya there's quail farming, which is really hitting, and it's a technology that came from China. I think I don't know how people, no, just somebody went online and read, quail farming, quail eggs, that's this. But now, just like any other egg, you can say, it has iron, it has, like the way we are saying, like cricket has iron, has this which is good for your blood,
Exactly.
which is good for all this vitamin that is good
And
for
the good
your
fats, because it has also amino
yeah,
acids.
just because of that, somebody went online and said, "Do you know quail eggs can cure goiter, whichever disease?"
Yes.
Now that became a big thing. Just because of that small element or that small statement, now everybody started doing it without even research. So that's a big issue about Kenyans. You know, we wait and see a fair, and then after you see something work, everybody goes, bam. We all do it
with their hands, legs,
Yes,
everything.
and that's when money comes from nowhere.
Exactly.
You'll find now it's research. You do research like snail farming. Snail farming is doing quite well in Nigeria. Doing quite well. I was in Burkina Faso. I saw it doing quite well. There is also which one? We were talking about mealworm. Yeah, mealworm is also doing quite well. In South Sudan, they eat a lot of grasshoppers.
Okay.
Yeah, they eat a lot of grasshoppers, and they're there for free. You know, remember during that time, in fact, there's a Mzungu who actually there's some white guy who made a joke. During that time, we had a locust invasion, saying, we have a lot of locusts. Somebody just said, why can't you harvest and eat it? That's food. Somebody was saying, you guys are complaining about locust infestation, yeah?
We just got drums and pans and we were hitting them and they were flying away.
Just put a net where they are, you see where they have a route. They normally use one
They
route.
swarm in one place.
Yes. So if you know that they're going to pass through this route, yeah? Trap them, eat them. Simple.
Okay.
Or trap them, dry them, feed it, make animals feed out of them.
Yes.
Yeah. They say,
And actually, if you grind them, you get this protein powder.
Yes. We left food to go like that.
Wow, free food.
Free food.
Manna
yeah.
from heaven.
Yeah, the locust. So next time we have, God forbid, but anytime we have locust infestation, see how to make a fortune out of that. Try to make feed out of that, because locusts are very high in protein. Yeah.
And amino acids, because it says that it contains
actually
the good fatty acid.
Protein is actually amino acid. From there you can break it down into other small things like the fatty acid, acetic acid, and all the others.
Wow.
And carbohydrate is also very important.
Very good, yes.
Yeah.
And we have the 4 celebrity insects that are mostly eaten in Africa.
Yes.
4 celebrity. The first one is grasshoppers, locusts, and crickets.
Yes.
As you have identified.
Actually, cricket should be number 1 in the list. I'm yet. Next time we'll search. We'll tell our producer to help us locate cricket farmer or cricket biscuits. Or if you know of somebody who has cricket biscuits here in Kenya, there are so many people who are doing cricket farming. Will let us know so that we can be able to bring them here in this show and we can see how they taste.
Now we pick their brain
Yeah,
and they tell us. I would like to know how they just trap them and how they contain them in one place.
Yeah, because it's an $85 million industry in South Africa, in Southern Africa.
85 million is quite a good catch.
We need to expand the kumbe kumbe in Western Kenya.
Yes, and number 2 on the celebrity list is termites.
Oh yeah, the
Goes down
kumbe
with
kumbe.
ugali.
Kumbe kumbe. Yeah, for those, I think most of our millennials don't even understand
What kumbe kumbe is.
That's very good. And those people who were born in Nairobi, some of them don't even know that.
They have no idea what you're talking about.
What they're missing.
Yeah, but again, I have seen them even in my place. When it's rainy, sometimes I see them.
They're everywhere.
But maybe just one or two.
Yeah, you know, I was surprised because we've been having a very long and a very long drought. But the moment it just rained, water just touched the ground. I do not know where they came from. They just popped out.
I think
years, after months of, unless they're timing the rainy season.
They know because of the ecosystem. They even know the smell of rain when it's coming to rain. So they're ready. They're just
meaning that impact of human activities on the global climate can really affect the whole ecosystem.
Very, very
Everything,
much so.
Pakistan.
Very, yes.
And do you know, by the way, we've forgotten the most important creature, the most important insect in the world. Do you know which one it is?
Which one?
The most that they say, if this insect, can somebody, maybe that's a trivial question, if this insect goes extinct, 10 years, human go extinct.
Okay. There you have it. That is our trivial question. We'll get to sample the answers at the end of our show.
Who will be able to answer that question? Which insect, when it goes extinct, human beings will go extinct? Yes.
And we'll give you a shout out right here as we finish our show.
Yeah, we'll tell you at the end of the show, so keep watching.
Yes, please tell us, if this insect goes extinct, the world will come to an end.
Not really the world. It will have such a bad effect to human beings that we might go extinct.
That means it's the biggest contributor to our ecosystem.
Yes.
Okay.
It's something that we know every day. We see it every day. It's a very
I'd like to see you people try. Please, please, please.
No, Google. Don't go to Google.
Don't Google. Please do your research and
Google University.
Please then tell us your answer. Remember our social media handles. On Facebook, we are at Afamas TV. On Twitter, at Afamas Media. And on our website, www.afamas.com. Please tell us your answer to our trivial question. We'll get to read out your answers at the end of our show. And now continuing with our celebrity list.
Go on with our celebrity list. Which one is there?
Mopenwam, the one you were talking about.
Yeah, the one that's $1 million industry in South Africa.
Imagine. That is quite. And then we have number 4, palm weevil larva.
Oh yes, that one is also it's also doing. Our producers showing us cockroaches. Yeah, there are people who do. Oh yes, I forgot it. Cockroach milk. Do you know that is the most expensive animal insect extract?
Okay.
Cockroach milk. I don't know why I forgot about that.
Cockroach milk.
Yes.
Please tell me how that does. I mean, how? How do you even milk the cockroach?
There's that white, they call it milk, but there's a white substance that is produced by cockroach. You know, have you ever stepped on a cockroach and you've seen that white thing?
Don't even say stepping. Every time I see one, niko na slippers kwa mkono.
It is cockroach milk is one of the most expensive liquids found from a dirty insect like cockroach.
How is it beneficial to us?
It has almost 80% of protein.
Okay, from 60% to 80%.
Yes.
But for animals, not for humans.
For humans.
Oh God, no.
For humans.
No.
There are actually cockroach farms as we speak. There are so many. Let me give you a small nutritional fact about cockroach. Yeah?
Please do.
Cockroach has magnesium, actually 9.7 mg per 100 grams. That is quite high. Yeah? Magnesium.
Wow.
Cockroach has 8.5 mg to 100 grams. Yeah? That's part per meters. Yeah. ppm, or we call it ppm. Iron, it has 7.4 ppm. Potassium, it has 7.0. Phosphorus, sodium, manganese, copper.
Wow.
That's why they call it superfood. Let me read something.
So that is a superfood.
Cockroach milk has gained a buzz as a superfood due to its nutritional content. In fact, lab research has shown that it has more than 3 times. It's more than 3 times as nutritious as cow's milk, buffalo milk. You know, buffalo milk is very nutritious.
Yes.
And human breast milk. Given that cockroach milk isn't commercially produced, general nutritional information is it's not much available. So this is somebody who did a small research on the cockroach milk I was talking about. Yeah? So there are lots of information about cockroach milk and cockroach farming. I mean, if you feel like doing, but those are free things.
Yes. Yes.
They're just annoying things on in our houses. You can turn into something, you know. Go and look at why cockroach milk is termed as a superfood. go find out, go do a lot of information and do a background check. I thank you, producer, for reminding me about cockroaches. Cockroaches are good, healthy food.
So that is a superfood.
It is a
and from what
superfood.
you have read, actually, I think it's even more than the insects we were talking about.
Yes.
So that means it should be number 1 in our celebrity list.
They say, okay, there's one specific type of cockroach called Dipoptera punctata. It's unique because it gives birth to live offspring. So it releases crystalline milk to its offspring.
Wow. And we have our comments on our Facebook page. We have Thomas Okello who's saying tamu sana. And we have Fiona Luta. Amekula. Thomas umekula gani? And we have Fiona Luta who's saying climate change has really impacted the world. Kenya has faced the deadliest drought ever. We've witnessed hunger. Why should we be against GMO when it could be a solution to food security? Okay. And then Jackie Moore who's saying, why would someone eat insects? What I know is insects create the biological foundation for all terrestrial ecosystems. Now, Jackie, maybe we should get Robert to buy you cockroach milk.
No, let me tell her. I started telling her a story of, I was in a place called Goma in DRC. And one time we went somewhere to some market that's always there. It's like Kenyan market, but now this is meat market. This is I'll call it a weird market. One of the weirdest market I've ever been to. You'll see, that's the first time I saw the head of. They put gorillas' heads. They have these baboons.
Okay.
Like you'll just look at it, you might even think it's a human's head there.
Yes.
Now they have weird. That's where you'll get those big cockroaches. They sell cockroach, they sell termites, they sell. Do you know this? The queen termite. There's a queen.
There's a queen termite, just like a queen bee.
Yeah, the queen termite, the one that has very big white abdomen.
Oh yeah.
The one that people really dig.
Yes,
to find.
yes.
There's that, and then there's this one when
the huge one, and it's white and it's somehow fatty.
Yes,
and
yes,
it grows.
And it has, you can count the number of years from the
and it grows in a mold of like a sand, the small kahil of soil.
Oh, that's a golden meal in some places.
I know that one. I have eaten that one.
And then there's this one. There's this one. I don't know what. I think it's the larva of a moth or what the ones that you find when you, especially when you are doing in a manure, when you open manure. Yes. You'll see I don't know. Somebody will tell me the name from your comments. That white thing that's when you open manure, you'll find it in the inside there. That's a delicacy and a half. People, if you go out there and find in Asian, especially India, they're not okay. In China, there are places where they have weird food. That's where they even said corona. Where did we have? Where did the corona come from? Which city is that?
Guangzhou.
No, not Guangzhou.
No. It's I can't quite remember the name.
Yeah, that city is where people claim corona came from.
I'm trying to remember
the animal market.
Yes.
The animal market where they have weird creatures. I mean, for people to eat bats, you have to be out of your mind.
Yes. I have no idea how they taste, but I think that China and those Asian countries, they really consume the insects.
Yeah, like Singapore, there are places in Singapore where you eat. They're called food markets. You eat the weirdest of all insects or all animals, as long as they are not poisonous. You'll even find snakes. Oh yeah, I told you in Goma there I saw snakes, some type of edible snakes. You'll find crocodiles. You'll find, and these big rats. Those very very big mole and rats.
Yes.
Disgusting. If you're there and then. Flies are everywhere. The first thing you'll meet when you get into that market, it just flies everywhere. It's quite but it's $1 million industry. There are people to come from far to buy these crazy animals, especially baboons, gorillas. You know, they quite messy.
Yes. And just as we have read the comments, we have asked Thomas to please tell us again, because you have said tamu sana. Please let us know which one have you had the pleasure of eating, which insect. And Jackie Moore, why would someone eat insects? Because what I know is insects create the biological foundation for all terrestrial ecosystem. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's food. Do you know, by the way, this fact that you need to know, 2 billion African population feed on insects.
So Jackie Moore, 2 billion.
We
2 billion Africans.
We have about, I mean, the world population is 8 billion as we speak.
Yes, and by 2050 we'll be at 9.1 billion.
So a quarter of the world's population
is actually consuming. So Jackie, 2 billion Africans are currently consuming insects. Don't worry. And on that note, we also take our second short break. We will be back with more of traffic updates. And remember our trivial question. We're still waiting for that answer, please. And no Googling. We want to know that insect. As we break, we will be back. Please don't go anywhere and follow us on our social media platforms as well.
In 3, 2, 1 and action.
Sawa, asante sana kwa kutupatia muda kuongea na sisi. Tuambie majina yako, ni nani, hii sehemu inaitwaje, na hii kulima mnafanya ni gani?
Haya, nimeshukuru. Hata na mimi naitwa Emily Kereto. Mimi ni mama, niko na familia. Hata na mimi nimefurahia kuwaona. Ni vizuri ukipata wageni ukiwa kwa kazi. Tumefurahi. Hapa kwetu kwa eneo hili inaitwa Engi. Nongo jo kama ya mashini. Sasa hapa tuko na kilimo ya nyanya. Hii kazi imetupendeza sisi sana. Kwa sababu ni kazi tunafanya kila siku, tunapata mapato yetu ya kulisha watoto ama kuwalipia karo. Kwa hivyo ni kazi tumeifurahia sana.
So mnafanya ni kazi ya kibarua ama ni wamama mmeungana kwa kikundi mkaamua kufanya ukulima wa nini, wa nyanya?
Tunafanya kama kibarua, but tunafanya tukiwa group. Tunaweza shikana kwa sababu gari inakujanga na makreti mingi, tunashikana kama watu 10, watu 6. Sasa tunafanya kama group, but ni kibarua.
So hiyo kibarua mnaona imewanufaisha aje kama wamama wa Masai, vile umesema ni kwa kijiji ndani? Sasa hii kibarua imewanufaisha aje kama wamama wa hapa hii eneo?
Hii kibarua imetufanyia vizuri kwa sababu ni kibarua tunafanya tukiwa kwa maboma ama tukiwa nyumbani. Kwa hivyo ni kibarua imetuinua tuseme kifamilia, mambo na machakula, mambo na karo ya shule. Kwa hivyo ni kibarua imetufanyia mambo mengi sana. Na bado ni mzuri kwa sababu tunafanya tukirudi nyumbani. Kwa hivyo unaamkia asubuhi unakuja ukifanya unarudi.
Tukiingilia maneno ya ukulima, unaweza sema kwa hii kazi ambayo unafanya kuna elimu ambayo umepata jinsi ya kukuza na kupanda nyanya?
Hata mimi ndaweza sema hivyo. By the way, watu sasa wakulima wakienda, hata sisi tuko na kitu tumepata. Kwa sababu sasa hizi venye tumeanza kufanya hii kazi, tumejua nyanya inaweza chukua baada ya miezi 3 tunaanza kufuna. Na ni kazi tumeielewa, tuseme tu tumeielewa juu ni kazi inaanziwa hapa kwetu na inamaliziwa hapa kwetu.
Kama sasa hii tunaona mnavuna nyanya, tueleze kidogo vile mmechunga hii nyanya hadi sasa hii mnavuna. Process yake mlipanda lini, utajuaje nyanya iko tayari kuvuna?
Mimi siwezi jua sana mambo vile ilianza, but ninajua tu ya kwamba inachukua almost 3 months, after 3 months tunaanza kufuna. Lakini bado ninajua ni kazi inaanzanga kwa nasari, inaingia inachukua muda, tena inaanza kupaliliwa, inaingia mahali nyingine inaanza kuzaa nyanya. Sasa ndio tupate mahali imefika tuanze kuchuma.
Kama sasa tukiangalia kwa hii shamba kuna nyanya zingine ni ndogo, zingine ziko red, zingine ziko karibu kuiva. Tuonyeshe ni gani zenye mnachuna zenye ni za soko.
Saa hii za soko ni hizi. Mimi najua ni kama hizi. Sasa hizi ndizo za soko saa hii.
Kuna zingine zenye pia ziko karibu kuiva. Ni nini mnaangalia wakati mnavuna? Kuna zingine tunaona ziko
tunazo hizi tunasema ziko red na bado tuko na blue band. Sijui kama nitaweza toa.
Tuonyeshe tu.
Kuna blue band kama size hizi. Sasa unaona kuna tofauti. Hii ni blue band na hii ni red.
Na mnafanyanga sorting mkikuwa hapa kwa shamba? Kuna zile zimekuliwa na wadudu, kuna zingine mnajua je ni gani ni mzuri ya soko?
Saa hizi tunajua kama tuseme hizi mbili ni za soko. Hii saa kama hii haiwezi fika kwa soko, ni kama hii. Juu hizi already na saa hii isifika sokoni.
Kwa nini?
Kwa sababu hii nikijaribu kuangalia ingawaje hata mimi sio mtaalamu wa hii kazi sana, ni kama imechomeka kwa jua kabla haijakomaa.
So ni ujumbe gani ungeambia wanawake wengine ambao pengine wamekaa nyumbani wanaongoja mzee alete pesa ya maziwa? Ujumbe gani ungeambia wanawake wengine wamekaa nyumbani?
Mimi ningependa tu kuambia hata wao at least watoke tu wajifanyie tu vibarua. Juu hata sisi hii sasa tumekuja kupata, tulianza na mambo ya maziwa. Tulikuwa tunauza maziwa, Mungu tena akaja akatubariki tukapata hii ya nyanya. Kwa hivyo mimi ningependa tu kuwaeleza kwamba usikubali kukaa nyumbani. Hata kama ni kale kasukuma yako unapeleka sokoni unaenda kulima, usikubali kukaa nyumbani. Kwa sababu sasa sio wakati wa kuletewa chumvi na mzee kununuliwa mafuta ya kujipaka, ni wewe mwenyewe kujifanyia.
Kwa hii kibarua mnapata kama hela ngapi na ni nini inakupatia hiyo motisha ya kuja kazi kila siku? Yani unangangana kutuna
ile kitu inanipatia motisha ya kuja kwa kazi ni bidii yangu. Kwa sababu kupata hela inategemea na bidii yako. Sababu kuna wale wako active na kuna wengine wanaenda polepole. Sasa ni venye unatoa. Sasa active yako ndio itakupatia mshahara yako.
Nashukuru sana kwa muda wako.
Hata nani nimeshukuru. Karibuni tena.
Welcome back on Farmers TV. And just to mention, Farm Girls will be coming next and they will be talking about indoor farming. And as you can see, I'm holding a very beautiful flower here. It's quite beautiful.
Yeah, that's an indoor plant, eh?
It's an indoor plant.
Yeah.
So they'll be telling you about the importance of having an indoor plant. So make sure you're here. Do not go anywhere as they get to tell us about indoor plants. Yes, and just to look, Mwakio, at the trending topics in agriculture worldwide.
Before we even go there, we forgot. You know, 2/3 of Madagascar eat insects.
2/3. Yeah. That is almost the whole, half of the country.
Yes, because Nikavile, the way we eat ugali.
The way ugali is our staple food.
Yeah.
For them, it's just insects.
Yes.
Termites.
Yes. Our nakula insects. Especially cricket farming so much. It's called the Indian Ocean cricket. It's one of the most staple food in Madagascar. And you know, they say for every human being, one human being, there are about almost 1 billion insects for every one person. So you can imagine how many insects are there.
Wow. So this means that the ecosystem was very well arranged. So that the kumbe come when it rains.
Yeah, when it rains, so you can supplement it with the plants that you.
Yes, and this is just interesting. What I'm getting to know, because I know that Mwakio, you have traveled and have been involved so much in agriculture, and it's quite interesting that you have been to South Africa. Sorry, Dr. Mwakio. You have traveled a lot and you have a vast experience when it comes to agriculture. So it's quite interesting even for the insects, and we're just talking about insect farming. And as we agreed, we are changing our celebrity list, our insect celebrity list, and we're putting cockroach at number 1.
No, in terms of nutritional value and what you
it
can
has
gain
to be number 1.
Because cockroaches, and there's so many, but I still believe cricket are still topping the list of things that can do. We also have black soldier fly when it comes to animal feed, supplementing animal feed. Black soldier fly. We have people who eat flies, house flies, the common house fly. People will eat that and they will enjoy it.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
They eat what?
The common house fly.
Oh no. No,
you know, so unfortunately, these things are so free out there. You can just
why would okay? there I am with one of the comments I read. Why would someone eat an insect? But now there I am with you. Why would someone eat a house fly?
It's the same way you'll eat a goat.
Oh, okay.
So probably somebody, a vegetarian will ask, oh, why are you eating meat? Yeah, that's the same way. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like we have very important creatures in this, insects in this world, like the silkworm. You know, very, very important.
Yeah, very, very important silkworm, yeah.
Yeah, so I think this, the arthropoda, or research on the arthropoda is something that has to be built up. Students who are learning zoology, people can specialize into insect, see the benefit of insect, especially in agriculture. Yeah, and I know of so many people who are in Isipe who've really done, the people who've done a lot of research, especially in curbing the black soldier fly. And there are so many research that being done. So I hope Isipe comes on board, tells us on these edible insects. What we really need right now, especially in food crisis situation, is alternatives to food. What we need is especially supplementing feed, high protein for children, so that we can eradicate diseases like kwashiorkor and marasmus, and have healthy diet for people. Calorie free or low calorie, low fat. People can be able to have good diets in their meals. So countries like Uganda, where they take the isenene, though that isenene, I cringe when I hear that. I cringe when I hear that.
You remember your horrific experience with that?
It was a bad experience I had, you know. But you know, some of those experiences help you learn not to eat dirty things. You know, probably just somebody's dirty.
But maybe the insect was quite good. Maybe the hygiene of the
probably cook. Whatever, either they use bad oil, bad
or
water,
reused oil.
That's why some of these street foods. But if you're used to street food, you just be careful, because that's where you can easily. I think there's a outbreak of cholera. Cholera. Yeah, there's an outbreak of cholera. Guys, be careful. Take care of your hygiene.
Please do.
Yeah, and everything that you do, you eat, always wash your hands. COVID taught us to wash our hands. You know, people never used to wash their hands.
No.
Mtu anatoka choni. How are you? Can you imagine the people who used to, you know, you greet somebody, you don't know what that person has.
And then you get to your house and you forget again.
Yeah, man. You ask yourself, thank God. Okay, I won't say thank God for COVID, because I've lost 4 friends, very close friends, out of COVID.
Wow.
But it really taught us a lot, especially in the agriculture world. You know, during COVID is when people were coming to, Robert, can you tell us what we can do in agriculture? See those friends who just ignore what you're doing in agriculture, but when they see like life is really, you need an alternative, that's when they come for your advice. Don't make agriculture your alternative. If you're to do agriculture, go to it full time. Take your time, do courses. I told you there are very many free online courses in agriculture. There are very many NGOs. I can name some NGOs that are giving free training, especially in fish farming. There's this SNL from Netherlands. Gives you free training on aquaculture.
Wow.
Yeah, there are so many online training. UN has very many training. If you go to UN Education, the United Nations website on their education, they have very many certificate courses. Go and do climate change. Go to FAO, you'll get training. They'll give you some training. Yeah, you know, there are people who have so much free time on their hands. Make good use of your free time. It won't break a bone to have 1, 2, 3 certificates.
No, it won't.
Yeah.
It adds to, it even adds to the knowledge.
Yeah, because me as if I'm an employer, I look at how many papers do you have.
This means that I am diversified in information and education as well.
Not like you just get your degree and you sit down and you expect everything will just come into place. Try to
Yes.
enrich yourself. Yeah.
And on that note, I just want to remind you that we are also on online radio. All you have to do is download the Zeno app and search for a farmers radio. Download the Zeno app and search for a farmers radio, or you can comment as well on our Facebook page, on our social media platforms, and a link will be posted there, and you can follow that link, and you also listen in on this beautiful topic as we get to discuss insect farming. You're not far off. You're still with us. Don't worry, even if you're joining us right now. Bado haujachelewa. You're still there. We're still there.
It's actually stream.zeno.fm. Stream.zeno.fm. And then you can be able to get F Farmers Media.
F Farmers Media. Just search for it and comment. And remember, we have our trivial question, and because we're almost ending the show, so please, please, please remember our trivial question.
Which insect, if goes extinct, will threaten the lives of human beings?
There you have it.
Will threaten our existence if they go extinct.
If they go extinct. We're waiting for that answer. We're waiting for that answer as we just get to sample our comments. We'll get to read your comment on that. And we wanted to discuss about the trending topics in agriculture.
I've read somewhere right now that there's a shortage of potatoes, especially these big chain stores such as kutengeneza chips.
Yes. Fast food restaurants.
Yeah, the fast food restaurants. Right now there's a shortage. That was 14 hours. It was reported 14 hours ago. There's a shortage of potatoes. So I don't know what will happen. If you have a chance, you take advantage of that. If you have your own potatoes, you can take advantage.
And this is where we get to just mention about the policies that are put in place by the government, so that we ensure that our potato farmers, they just get something from that.
Yes.
Instead of just buying it at a cheaper price and then selling it at a higher price, and the farmer does not benefit from that.
No, we also need to look at the factors that cause these shortages. Yeah? You see, we are looking at our over-reliance on rain-fed agriculture. Yeah? If we could have constant constant harvest, yeah? If you're going full throttle as a potato farmer, you know that I'll be doing this yearly. If I put into place things like irrigation, crop rotation, or farm rotation, where you put your farm in such a way that when you're harvesting this month, you harvest on the other side another month, so that every year you have a cycling rotation.
That is actually the question I wanted to ask you, Dr. Mwakio, because there's a show 2 days ago we discussed about the overuse of the soil.
Yes.
So when you're farming and you decide that you just want to plant potatoes, or you want to be strictly farming potatoes, you ensure that you separate them so that there's no overuse of that soil.
Yeah, it's when we overdo things also, we deplete the soil nutrients and resources. The soil, if you look at the function of soil, is actually to anchor crops, and actually also has mineral. Not like the soil has like soil comes with minerals that are there.
Yes.
But once a plant absorbs the mineral, the crystal rocks are the crystal like sand is soil is just crystalline rocks or crystalline dirt.
Yes.
But some of them are mixed with the chemical components. Yeah? So that the plants want the chemical component. They don't want the dirt or the things. So you might plant and your plants deplete everything so that your soil is just there. You see, it's like taking tasteless tea without sugar, because probably you've depleted the sugar.
Yes.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, we need to embrace things like crop rotation to help your soil heal. Let your soil heal. Don't you're doing maize. 20 years
Yes.
maize until the soil becomes
So this means
Yeah.
as time goes by, the value, the quality of the crop
Yeah.
reduces as well.
It reduces. as well,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow, this is quite interesting. And of course, GMO is still trending because people have the
Oh, yeah.
misconceptions.
I think there was a story on GMO today.
It was.
Yeah,
It
we
is
can, we
that.
can go back to it before we wrap up our show.
Exactly, and
Yeah.
we get to tell you because no one has told us about that insect that can go extinct. So please, we just want to look at the story about GMO. And according to the African scientist, you see now we even have African scientists.
Yes.
Hmm?
No,
They're
we've,
coming up.
we've always been having.
We just didn't know about them. And actually, Burkina Faso commercialized GMO cotton in 2009, and after 6 years controlled field testing in South Africa, GMO cotton and GMO maize have been in commercial production since 1997.
Don't forget even Kenya's. Our cotton is GMO, by the way.
Are you serious, Dr. Monkey?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Wow. And so the African scientists are, while calling out leaders who have politicized the GMO argument, Professor Mishieka has called on his fellow scientists and the media to combat widespread misinformation about GMOs in order to enhance acceptance and adoption. So now we have also been put in that boat as well,
Yes. Yes.
to ensure that we give people the right information so that they're not
Yeah,
misinformed.
but that brings me back to what is the work of the Biosafety Authority.
Yes.
What is its work? That is its work. Now somebody is trying to overlook the mandate of the Biosafety Authority, and that is the work it's been tasked. It's actually an organization or an authority formed by Act of Parliament.
And actually, I'm being reminded that yesterday, yesterday or the day before yesterday, the government said that they are going to allow local farmers to sell their maize up until February. And after that,
Yes,
our
because
maize comes in.
we are. I don't know if people are hoarding, people are doing what, but this every year, this shortage of maize every year, we need to either way look for a solution. And the only way the country has the only solution, short-term solution the country has is to import. Every subsequent years we've been having importation of maize. I don't know why this year they're trying to create a barrier to import the maize, because we've been this is fact. Every year our production is reducing, and
Yes.
this is one worry that we are having as a country. Is it the quality of our soils? Is it our production? Or people are not getting so much into farming, maize farming, or what? Why are we having a reduction in production every year? Subsequent year, this year was even shocking that our maize actually the revenue was quite low. Yeah.
And sorry, Dr. Mwakio. And on that note, our time is up in studio. Big rush.
We'll start being charged
Yes,
for extra minutes.
We'll be billed for the extra bills.
Yeah.
And now, just as we wind up, that animal, that insect is a bee. And
It is a bee.
yes, and Dr. Mwakio actually has told me that if the bee goes extinct in 4 years, we will have no human life. Am I right?
Yeah, that is according to Vice website. But things are different. There's a lot of debate online that if bees go extinct, some say 10 years, some say that we can be able to find. Yeah, we can be able to find alternative. But let us look at it typically. Let's say in the 60s, if bees went extinct in the 60s, we wouldn't be here now.
Okay. There you have it. A bee is very important. So don't kill bees, please. And start bee farming as well. Now, remember to stay tuned to Farm Girls, who are going to be here in a short while. And they'll be discussing indoor farming. And it has been a pleasure having you around. And remember to follow us on our social media platforms. And thank you so, so much for staying with us. My name is Christine Mutindi. Have a lovely day.
Thank you.